Trump announces deal to lower prices of popular obesity drugs. Trump announces deal to lower prices of popular obesity drugs. President Trump recently unveiled an agreement aimed at significantly expanding access to highly sought-after obesity drugs by substantially reducing their prices. The deal, involving drug manufacturers Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly, could lower the cost of drugs like Wegovy, Zepbound, and 2 experimental pills to as little as $149 a month, benefiting millions of Americans. Key details of the agreement addresses several aspects of accessibility and cost. Lower pill prices. The lowest dose of the pill form of the drugs will be available for $149 per month. Medicare and Medicaid, as well as individuals paying out of pocket, will be able to purchase these pills at this reduced price. Direct-to-consumer prices. Consumers can expect to purchase Novo Nordisk's Wegovy and Eli Lilly's Zepbound injectable medications directly from the manufacturers, initially averaging $350 a month, with projections to fall to $245 within 2 years. Medicare and Medicaid coverage. Starting next year, Medicare and Medicaid will pay a maximum of $245 a month for injectable drugs, contingent on patients meeting specific medical criteria, such as moderate or severe obesity, or mild obesity accompanied by conditions like kidney disease, heart failure, or uncontrolled hypertension. Copayments. Eligible Medicare patients will face a maximum copayment of $50 per month, while Medicaid patients generally incur little to no out-of-pocket costs. Expanding access and addressing concerns, projected impact administration officials estimate that these measures could help Americans collectively lose £135 million by next year's midterm elections, although the basis for this projection remains unclear. New website and regulatory benefits. The Trump administration plans to launch TrumpRx. Gov, a website directing patients to manufacturers' websites. Furthermore, Eli Lilly and Novo Nordisk have been awarded FDA review vouchers, enabling faster approval processes for their experimental pills, a valuable asset in the pharmaceutical industry. Background and context. Rising demand and cost barriers. Obesity has reached epidemic proportions in the United States, contributing to a rise in chronic diseases and healthcare costs. Popular drugs like Wegovy and Zepbound have shown significant effectiveness in managing diabetes and promoting weight loss, but their high prices have made them inaccessible to many. Current insurance coverage for these drugs remains limited, and many plans attribute rising healthcare costs to their increased usage. Legislative and regulatory hurdles. Existing Medicare legislation explicitly prohibits coverage for drugs solely intended for weight loss, effectively barring most beneficiaries from accessing these treatments. While the Biden administration previously attempted to expand coverage to include individuals diagnosed solely with obesity, the Trump administration rejected this approach. Medicaid variations. Medicaid programs, jointly funded by the federal government and states, are generally required to cover FDA-approved drugs. However, a federal law includes a carve-out for weight loss medications, allowing states to decide whether to provide coverage. As a result, only a handful of state Medicaid programs currently cover these drugs, and some have recently withdrawn coverage due to budgetary constraints. Unconventional presentation. During the Oval Office announcement, President Trump referred to the medications as the fat drug and inquired about the use of these medications among his cabinet members. This unusual presentation was briefly interrupted when a man standing beside the president collapsed, leading to a pause in the event while Dr. Oz, who oversees Medicare and Medicaid, provided assistance. The Trump administration plans to create TrumpRx. Gov, which will direct patients to manufacturer websites like the ones offered by Novo Nordisk and Eli Lilly. Officials put up a promotional version of the TrumpRx website last month and said they plan for it to be operational by the end of this year. In conclusion, this agreement aims to alleviate the cost barrier associated with popular obesity drugs, potentially increasing access and contributing to improved health outcomes. However, ongoing legislative and regulatory complexities, as well as budgetary considerations at the state level, may still impact the extent of coverage and accessibility for various populations.